Hello and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the gun people of the tube. Hope today, hope you're feeling grand and all is well in your world. You join me on yet another road trip to buy yet another guitar. This one's quite interesting though. I've been looking at it for a few days, but it popped up again last night. It kind of disappeared and I thought it'd sold, so I just kind of forgot about it. But it popped up again last night on the Facebook Marketplace, which is an absolute kind of bargain basement for some awesome stuff every now and again. I found my mint condition ties go through that. I found this guitar for that and multiple other amps, guitars and pedals for it. So it's really cool. I mean, that's the only... it's one of the redeeming features of Facebook. Anyway, so today we're going to pick up an acoustic guitar, everybody. And this is a Japanese Martin replica from the 1970s. And it's actually branded as a CF Mountain. And it's got the exact same Martin logo. It looks like a Martin Dreadnought. And... for the price it was, I couldn't pass it up. And apparently these things are really rare and really good. And it's rumoured they used real Martin components on the guitar. Not so sure about that one, but I do know it's classed as a lawsuit model. I know Martin were like, no, stop making that guitar. It's far too close to our acoustics. So yeah, I'm curious what it's going to be like. So I thought I'd document the journey, going to get it. First initial impressions as well, and kind of like cleaning it up, and if any work needs to do to it, I'll document that as well. So I've just realised my battery's super low on the camera as well because I didn't charge it because I'm clever, you see. Anyway, it should last, and it'll last anyway from it'll last to there and back home because I can't do too much filming because I'll be driving. So anyway, we are in Louth at this point in time. We've just been to get money out from over there, but we're in my town, my hometown, and we're about to go to the petrol station, fill up, and then hit the road, man. I've got to say, people, I'm in a very, very dark place in my head recently, so I do apologise if I'm a bit lower than normal in the vid, but, you know, anyway, let's go. Okay, people of the tube, it's time for gig story time with Dave. So, I played this pub here on the right side twice with Duke's Deluder. Oh God, when? About 2 years ago now. We played there subsequent years, so I think it'd be like 2018 and 2019 we played there. Anyway, the first gig we played, it was quite amusing actually, I was going to do that. First gig we played was, it was absolutely peeing it down with rain, you could say. That's an understatement though. But it was absolutely hammering it down with rain. When we got there, it was like, you know, it was like basically like a marsh. We were playing in a marsh. And as with quite a lot of these gigs, you're always sat up on the back of like an 18-wheeler lorry trailer. So anyway, we got up on the back of the, we got everything set up and everything like that. And the sound guy came up to us and he said, "Oh right, what do you need?" And we said, you know, 2 vocals, 1 for cajon. We don't need to mic up the amps. We're just going to turn them up really loud and go off backlight because there wasn't many people outside, as you can imagine, so we just thought, sod it, you know, make it easy on ourselves. And we had another gig to do that night, so it was kind of like a flying kind of gig, so to say. So anyway, we did like a very brief sound check, which is very rare in occasions like that to even get a sound check, because you normally just oddly start playing straight away. And then we got like a 5-minute little sound check, got the cajon sorted, and the guitars level, and everyone could hear each other okay, and Dan could hear himself through the monitor. That's all there was. And so anyway, we started playing, and 3 songs in, give or take, I forget exactly how many. I've just realised how dark it is. 1 second, everybody. I don't know if that's any better. I don't know if you can see me now, but even if you want to see me, my ugly mug. Anyway, 2 or 3 songs in, the PA started to feed back. Really kind of like whistly. I was like, what's that? Anyway, I looked over to where the sound guy should have been, and he wasn't there. He had done a runner, basically. And I was kind of like looking around to him, like looking at, because the PA was like on the other side of the lorry trailer to me, so I couldn't just get to it. And so I was like, what the hell do we do? Anyway, we finished the song, and the PA was just going crazy by this time. It was, wow! He was screaming his face off. So I had to put my guitar down, go over to the PA, figure out what it was, and I basically had to re-sound check us. Because the sound guy, if you will, I don't know what he had done, man, but everything was like peaking. Everything was peaking, so it was no wonder, like, it was just chaos. So I re-sound checked us, and it was fine for the rest of the gig. I took you out twice with Dukes to Luda, actually. There was a couple of times where sound guys went kind of AWOL. Anyway, oh, hang on a minute. I'm losing the camera. Okay, so, yeah, so there was a couple of times sound like seems to be a bit of a curse. Anyway, so that was the first time. Anyway, we did the gig and it was horrific. The guitars wouldn't stay in tune because it was cold. There was so much humidity in the air. It was bizarre. It was a proper weird, and I was in a really bad place again in my head. Hey, what's new? But I was in a really, really bad place, and it wasn't a good day for me. But it wasn't the best gig we played because we were hindered by so much stuff. Dan broke his like D string on his acoustic guitar like 4 songs in, and we had like a 7-8 song set, so it was a nightmare. And he didn't have a backup, and it was a bit of a. It was just one of those gigs that just went like one thing after another just went wrong. Anyway, we finished that gig and went and played the other gig that night, and the other gig we played that night was absolutely flawless. You know, I don't like to say that because it sounds ego-y, but it was. I mean, the second gig we played that night was so good. It really made up for how bad it was. Anyway, roll on to the year later. They invited us back to play again because we went down really well with the people who were there. They really liked us, so they invited us back to play again in 2019. Or would have been 18, I don't know. Anyway, it would have been 19. No, it would have been 18. Sorry, yes, 2017, 2018. Whoa, that's a bad pothole. Anyway, so we got invited back to play again the year after, and they said to us, "Oh, you don't need to bring." I asked them. I said, "Do we need to bring PA or anything?" And they said, "Oh no, PA supplied." PA supplied. I was a bit like, "Oh right, well, last time a PA was supplied, your sound guy wasn't AWOL on us." But I thought I'll just make sure everything's okay this time. You know, before we start playing, if you know, I'll double check things. So we got to the pub. Carried all our stuff down to the Arctic lorry trailer, and basically they told us that yes, the PA is supplied, but microphones and mic stands aren't. Which, hang on a minute, pick up the tube. I do apologise. I just had to move my hand. It was in a very uncomfortable situation. Anyway, so yeah, so they supplied a PA for us, but there was no microphones or mic stands, and we were like, well, we need 2 mics for vocals, and we need a mic for the cajon. So we're like, well, I didn't bring any of my PA stuff because they told us it was all supplied. So I was like, what do we do? Anyway, luckily we were bailed out by another band. There was another band playing that night, and luckily they bailed us out. They lent us microphones and mic stands, otherwise we'd have been absolutely up S Creek without a paddle, I've got to say. So anyway, story time of day for what it's worth. Excuse me, everybody. Choking in my own spit. That's always fun, isn't it? Anyway, people of the tube, I'm going to leave you with that story there. I'm sure quite a lot of us who have been gigging on the pub circuit have experienced this, but it still makes me chuckle. It's like, our PA supplied, but not the microphones and mic stands. Anyway, forward. CF Mountain is awaiting. Okay, people of the tube, I have just got the guitar. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I do apologise if it's really, really dark. But, yeah, so I've just picked up a guitar. Massive... Do apologise about my sat-nav. Be quiet for a second. I will get there. Okay, so yeah, I took a massive diversion on the way here. Like, they just closed off a road. So I had to go down all these, like, little country roads. And it wasn't the cleverest of diversions, to be fair with you, from whoever put the diversion in place. This is really dark, isn't it? I do apologise. But saying that, I'm an ugly mug, so it's okay. But you've got a guitar, it looks amazing. 1974, the dated it back to. So the guy just bought it off, lovely guy. And if he's watching, hello. The guy said he date it back to every owner from 1974. So it's around the time it had been new, and it really is a lovely guitar. I can't wait for you to see it. But I'm going to show you when we get home, because it does need a little bit of a clean. It needs a bit of a fret polish. All I'll do in this video, it'll be good fun. And yeah, let's get on with it. Let's go back home. So next thing you see, I'll probably back at home. So yeah, let's go. Also, definitely another thing of note, people of the tube, is how gorgeous the little villages that I've driven through to get here have been. They're absolutely stunning. Like they're just so picturesque. But one of them did look like the set from Hot Fuzz. So be that for what it may. But I didn't see Simon Pegg. But anyway, let's go home. Okay, just let you see a bit of these villages, people of the tube. Look, this is called Navenby, and it really is like I say, it looks like the set from Hot Fuzz, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Stunning place. Love the old stone houses and stuff. So gorgeous. Like, cool pub. A lot of people there for some reason. That's not social distancing, is it? Yeah. I love these stone buildings. They're so cool. And they're all pretty much stone. There's only a few brick houses. It's really cool. Anyway, enough gushing over stone buildings and gorgeous little villages. Onwards! Honestly, people, I don't know what's going on today. It's like they're revamping all the roads in Lincolnshire. I've decided to go a different way home because of a diversion, and the way I've chose, the only other way I've got to go home is basically now I'm stuck at a standstill at red lights. I don't know what's going on. It's like they just totally redesign. Let's redesign all the roads in one day in Lincolnshire. It's a bit weird. I don't really understand it. Anyway, we're going now, so see you in a sec. Okay, people, I've just stopped off in a little town called Market Raising, so I want to tell you another little story, if you will. This pub here, the Aston Arms, you see it straight ahead. Hopefully you can see it. Okay. So the song, the Elton John song, "Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting," is written about that pub. Bernie Taupin comes from around this area, and "Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting," based on this pub. There was a fight every Saturday night here. So there you go. Bit of random musical history for you in the local area where I live is, yeah, Saturday Night's Alright Fighting. There you go, that's the pub. Aston Arms in Market Raising. There you go. Okay, people, tube. Another story for you. I do apologise. This video is supposed to be about the acoustic guitar, but I just can't help myself, damn it! Anyway, so where I'm coming up to now on this road here, which I can see, this little hill here. Okay, so not a very big hill, a little bit different when it's covered in snow. So let me tell you the story about this hill. So I was doing a gig with my friend John Joe, drummer extraordinaire, in his hometown of Newark, which is about 45 minutes, 50 minutes away from here, back that way. Anyway, I do apologise. There was warnings of heavy snow that night, but I thought it'd be alright, I'll be able to get home. Just sort of take my time, don't rush it, it could be okay. So, that would have been true if... Well, let me get to the point. So, we did the gig, and it started to snow about halfway through our first set, I think. And it was heavy snow, it was like proper snow. So, we finished the gig, I loaded everything back into the van. By this time, the place was covered in snow. Good inch and a half thick, maybe. Nothing major, just, it was covered though, it was cool. So I said goodbye to John Joe, left, and as I was driving back towards Lincoln, the snow just got worse. It was getting like heavier and like deeper on the ground, and the motorway was like, and basically I was like stuck to like doing like 20 mile an hour like on the road, and it was just ridiculously slow. Everything was crawling, and it was just a bit kind of tedious. So anyway, I got to Lincoln, got around Lincoln, and I found my main way home, which I was relying on, was shut because somebody had an accident, unfortunately. So I got diverted. Well, I didn't get diverted actually, there wasn't any diversion signs because it had just happened, so there was no diversion sign. So I diverted myself, and I thought I'd head towards Grimsby because I'd rang Jo, and she said there's no snow in Grimsby, so I thought, well, I'll head that way then. It makes sense, it's only half an hour the other direction. So I got onto the road towards Grimsby, and as I was getting towards Grimsby, the road was closed, not through snow, just because, again, there was another accident, unfortunately. So I went back the other way and went onto this road I'm on now, which was absolutely, we're talking this, covered in snow. It was, it was deep by that time. I wasn't worried, however, because I was following a gritting lorry with a snowplow on the front, so I was like, yeah, I got this, just stick behind this guy. What I didn't realise was that I don't think he had I don't know what was going on, but he wasn't clearing a great deal of snow away. So anyway, we came over that rise just a minute ago and towards that hill, and there was 3 cars bogged down, just, we weren't going anywhere. And they were basically digging each other out. And so I went past them thinking, well, they've got each other, it'll be okay. So I drove past them and following this gritter lorry, got to that little hill, and subsequently found that the van couldn't make it up. I wasn't in this van at the time either. I was in my older van, which was a Vauxhall Combo, tiny little white thing, and it wouldn't go up the hill. Or was I in this? I forget now. No, I was in this. I do apologise, people. So yeah, I was in this. But anyway, the van wouldn't go up the hill. It just wouldn't get up. The snow was too thick. The truck obviously must have had four-wheel drive or something, because it just scaled it, no problem at all. So I gunned it to get up this hill, and it just slipped and slipped and slipped, and then I slid down the hill and off to the side of the road, off to the left side of the road. And by that time I was like, great, because the van was like no longer moving. I was like, I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere in a snowstorm. That's not good. And it was freezing cold. Like, the heater was on, but it was so cold. And I was like, well, what am I going to do? So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll go and ask the people behind me if I can borrow their shovel, dig myself out and get up the hill. As I got out of the van, those three cars left. They just left. So I was on my own in the middle of nowhere, in the snow, stuck, and I was like, ah! I was like, can't freak out, Dave. You gotta keep your head here. Anyway, I thought, what I'll do is I'll ring my dad. Dad's got a four-wheel drive. He'll call me. He can dig me out, drag me out, and they can drag me back home. So I rang my dad, and he said, "Oh, there's no snow in Louth." And I was like, "Well, there's plenty of snow here." And he was like, "Okay, I'll come and get you." But that was going to be a good 20, 30 minutes, you know, maybe even 40 minutes before he got to me. So I was just basically sat there listening to music, thinking, what can I do? I got out a few times and seen if I could kind of dig myself out with stuff, to no avail. So anyway, this delivery truck, I forget what it was. It could have been like, you know, FedEx or DPD, I don't know. It came past me, and he obviously was making a go for it to get up the hill, which again is tiny, but he thought, I can do this. Anyway, he got past me on my right side, and his truck just went from straight to that. He just basically went, like his back end came out basically, and he kind of went from straight, and he kind of like crabbed out like that. So, but I noticed he went into like full right lock on his wheel. I could see him, he was right in front of me. So he went to full right lock, and he basically crabbed it up the hill. Like, the truck went sideways up the hill, and I thought, if he can do that, I can do that. So, determined Dave started the van up again. Actually, I didn't turn the van off, but I was saying that for dramatic effect. There wasn't any. Anyway, and Dave thought, right, let's go, let's just gun it. So, put it in first gear. Sure enough, the van moved a little bit. So I went full right lock on the wheel. And then, sure enough, the van started to kind of like, its back end started to come out, and I started to move up the hill, which I was very happy about, because I was like, yes, we're going. Anyway, much engine gunning later, for about 5 minutes of kind of, I got into second gear, and it like that, and I got to the top of the hill, and I got out of it, and I don't know why I'm telling this story now, because there's no massive payoff. Anyway, but I got to the top of the hill, got over the top, and I was very happy. Anyway, I overtook my dad on the way back, because there was basically the roads from that point were kind of okay. You know, I was fine. I didn't get stuck again. And literally, as I got within 10 minutes of Louth, the snow just vanished. It was like it was gone. It was so weird. Anyway, people, random story over. Next thing you're going to see is definitely the guitar. I do apologise. I don't know why I'm saying all this. I don't know. See you in a sec. CF Mountain guitar next. Okay, people, we are home. Let me show you this gorgeous looking acoustic guitar, because it is gorgeous looking. That is, oh my god. It's got a slight V-neck to it, which again, Martins did have. This has had some play, people of the tube. The fretboard is very well played in. And check out the logo. Check that out. I mean, lawsuit much? Yeah. A bit on the older... Get rid of that. Bit on the older sketch side. But my God, what a guitar. So, it does need a few things doing to it. It needs a clean. Neck hooks bob on. There's a slight... I'm going to see if the truss rod does anything to the neck. That is a rich sound. Could do with some new strings as well, but that'll be for another time, for this point in time, because there is no guitar shops open today where I can get strings. There's no guitar shops, actually, so... Plays... gorgeously. Wow, awesome guitar. Okay, so people of the tube, what I'm going to do now, because it plays great, feels great, sounds gorgeous. It's a bit dead on the low strings, but again, I could benefit from new strings, but that's not really an issue. What I am going to do though is I'm going to take the strings off. I'm going to give this thing a total clean. I'm going to clean the fretboard, condition the fretboard, and I'm going to polish the frets as well because they're a bit tarnished. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but my God, I mean, look, let me get it out of the way. Trying to get it so you can actually see it properly. The colour of this thing is stunning. It's like a really gorgeous kind of like amber yellow colour that Martins go. Oh, also another interesting little thing that the guy I bought this from said. This is made in the Takamine factory, which is very, very cool. So yeah, this is awesome. So made in Japan. CF Mountain. I love it. It's so cheeky. So cheeky. And also, at some point, this would have had an adjustable bridge. It would have had two little screws on this side and that side to wind the bridge up and down. Because it's basically like a plastic bridge inside a metal housing. I don't think you'll be able to see it. Hopefully you will. So there's like a metal kind of like housing thing. And the bridge sits inside that. And you could bring up and lower to your heart's content. This guitar is gorgeous, people of the tube. Look at the back. It's had some use, though. And I like that. I really like how much use it's had. To me, it's had a life. Like I say, the guy who I bought it from, he said he could trace it back to 1974, owner-wise. And that's really cool. So I'm guessing that's kind of when it was kind of newish. I've looked into these a little bit, not massively. But yeah, so cool. I mean, I'm just wondering what's original or what's not, though. I wonder if anything's been changed, because at some point it was electric as well. So, interesting. Two-piece top, centre seam. Two-piece back as well, by the looks of it. Is that right? No, it's like a one-piece back. There is like a line, though, but I think that's just wood grain. Does look like it does. No, there is. It's a two-piece back. There's a seam there. Yeah, I can just about see it. It's very well hidden, though. Very well hidden. I say slight V-neck. Is it a scarf-jointed neck? No, it's not.
Is it? I can't tell. I really can't see. But yeah, the neck is amazing. It's like a real. It's one of those V-necks that's like super comfy. Because I'm not really a big fan of V-necks, but sometimes they just fit, and this one's one of those. Reminds me of a lot of my Alvarez. Nice chord. There we go. Very awesome. Okay, so people of the tube, let's get cleaning up the CF mountain. So I'm going to take the strings off. I say clean it all up, clean and condition the fretboard, polish the frets, do all that. So yeah, so while I'll do that, I'll turn the camera off while I get the strings off because you don't need to see me taking the strings off. That's boring. Okay, people, tube, got the strings off. Looking at the neck now. The neck is absolutely almost pitch black. It's got a lot of finger cheese on it though, so I'm going to give it a good clean, get rid of all that. The frets are very pitted. This has never had a refret. You can tell by the fact that they're absolutely pitted to buggery up in this area. It goes all the way down to about the 7th fret and then it kind of like stops, and then below anything past the 14th fret has never been touched. It's got this lovely kind of bevel at the edge of a fretboard here, like again a lot of the old Martins do. It reminds me loads actually of a Martin we had, same era actually, but a real Martin we had in Old Hat. It was I forget what it was, but it was amazingly gorgeous. But this one's had some absolute use, and I'll show you it a bit more in a bit, people of the tube. I'm just going to clean the fretboard up first, clean the headstock up. We've got to be really careful cleaning around the logo because the logo is just a water slide decal on top of the lacquer. It's not under the lacquer. So I've got to be really careful cleaning around there because the last thing I want to do is wipe off the logo. So yes, so you don't need to see me scraping all the finger cheese off the fretboard. You don't need to see me kind of like conditioning the fretboard. Well, the next thing you'll see is I'll polish the frets first, and then we'll condition it. But first things first, I need to get rid of all this finger cheese off the fretboard, and then I need to fret polish it. Looks good. I'll check the truss rod in a bit, but we'll start there. So, see you in a sec, people of the cheese. Ah! He's a clever boy, is our Dave. I'll see you in a bit, people of the tube, when I've got removed all this finger cheese. That's what I wanted to say. But anyway, people of the cheese. What do you reckon? I don't think so. Okay, people of the tube. So I don't think this fretboard's ever been cleaned. Or if it has, it hasn't been for a long time. But this is Brazilian rosewood. I'm pretty positive this is Brazilian rosewood. It looks identical to my 62 Strats rosewood fretboard, and it's just got the same kind of like patina to it, and the way it like feels and the way it shines up as well. Unreal. So this fretboard is absolutely gorgeous to look at. It's absolutely pitted, from heavily pitted. I'll show you it in a bit before we switch cameras around, angles around. But from the 1st fret to about the 7th fret, there's just kind of pitting, and it's really cool. You can see where this guitar has been played. There's like this arc that comes up from like the 17th fret to the 12th fret, and then all this has been used, and then all that has not. It's so cool. I love doing this and seeing this with the guitar. So next job to do before I condition the fretboard is I'm going to polish the frets up because they're very, very, very they're not rough up here, but as you get further and further down, they get really kind of tarnished. So I want them to look shiny and lovely. So I'm going to use the Crimson Guitars fret rubbers, which are just awesome. Actually, I'm going to start with the medium and see where we go with that. But I think the fine and the super fine will be all I need. But I'm going to try with the medium really quick, see how it goes. Actually, yeah. No, that's working fine. Yeah, so we're going to go medium. So I'm going to polish up the frets with the medium one. Then we're going to go to fine and then super fine. Just, very, very... Just to basically just work out some of the roughness on them. Because some of them are quite rough, actually. It looks like it's been fret leveled at some point. Definitely looks like it's been fret leveled. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. But for a guitar from like 1974, I would say it's been fret leveled at some point. This has been loved though. This guitar, and that's what I love about it. And you can feel it in the guitar. It's been loved, cared for, played, and I will continue that. So yeah, people tube. I'm just going to polish up these frets with these fret rubbers, and then we'll condition it. And then while it's been conditioned, I'll show you the wear on the fretboard. But first, I'm going to get to it with the fret rubbers, and I will see you again in the moo-moo. Okay, people tube. The frets are polished and looking glorious. So fretboards now finger cheese free as well. That's really tight on there again. There we go. I'm nearly out of this. I need to buy more. So we're going to condition the fretboard now, and then leave it basically just to kind of like just sink in for about 5-10 minutes. This stuff is absolutely amazing for fretboards. I've never, like I say, I mean a lot. You know, I used to use lemon oil and a few other little things I've tried in the past, but this Crimson Guitar stuff, whoa, my good gravy, incredible stuff for fretboards. It really is. I mean, and wood in general. I mean, I'm gonna put it on the bridge as well. Actually, give that some love. Oh, that's just gonna come out. So we're gonna take the bridge out. Oh, there we go. This is what I mean by the metal bridge piece, people of the tube. Where are we going? So the bridge just sits in that groove there, and like at some point this would have had adjustment screws on the side, and there's the bridge. Okay, so we're just gonna put some of the stuff on the bridge there. I don't want to take the strings out. There's no point in taking strings out. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a bit more on. Don't need to put loads on there. Okay, like I say, this is definitely it. Well, if this isn't Brazilian rosewood, I don't know what it is because it looks identical to it. Look at all the dirt, filth. But yeah, so we're gonna let that soak in now, 5-10 minutes. Let me see if I can get. I'll take the camera off the tripod really quick and see if I can show you this fingerboard where should be able to see it. So yeah, there you go. So first fret doesn't have a great deal. Second fret normally has more, and it's true here. I'm just using the reflection of the window. You can see the third fret dot is actually kind of indented into the wood, and you get that on a lot of old guitars. It's really, really cool. Double dot on the 5th fret. And like I say, you can just see it's just really shiny now. And again, it's so dark. It's so dark. This wood is just, again, I can't really show you very well, but it's such a dark wood, and it's really open. It looks so much like Brazilian rosewood. Like I say, if it's not Brazilian rosewood, I'd be shocked, actually. There's that logo again. I mean, that is really cheeky, but I love it. It's so cool. Okay, people tube. So I'm going to let that soak in for 5-10 minutes, and then I'm going to polish it up, and then we're going to put the strings back on. Then we're going to clean up the rest of the guitar, and we're going to have a bit of a play. So, yeah, see you in a sec. Okay, people tube, we are done. Like I say, the last thing I did was just kind of clean it, put the strings back on. There's no need to adjust the truss rod. The neck is straight as an arrow, or as straight as it can be. It is a little bit wavy down here, so it kind of like, there's a bit of a kind of like lump here, and then it goes straight. But that's okay, because you can't really play there anyway. So, these strings are far too heavy for me. They're definitely 12s. They're really, really big. If not 11s, I don't know, but they're very, very heavy strings, and they're very, very dead. There's not much life in them, so I am going to get some new strings tomorrow when I can get some, and I think I'll give this thing a bit more of a kind of a brighter tone. Also, I'm going to get 10s as well. These are a bit too heavy for me, but in with dead strings, I want to say, cleaned it up. It's so clean now. Like I say, I had to be really careful around the logo, because it's just a waterslide decal on top of the lacquer. It's not like under the lacquer. It's not protected or anything. So I have to be careful with that. But I say these strings are a bit too heavy for me. The fretboard took a long time to clean. It really did. It took a long time to get all that kind of like finger cheese off. But it's absolutely stunning. And like I say, people of the tube, I swear that's Brazilian rosewood. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Probably am. But it looks like Brazilian rosewood to me. The neck on this thing is fantastic. It's a real nice, comfy V shape. And I say when you play chords, because I don't like sharp V necks. I found out that's what it is that cramps my hand. If a guitar's got a really sharp V, it cramps my hand. It hurts. But like the Eric Clapton signature Fender. But this one, when I put my hand around it, that V sits so nicely in that part of my hand. Gravy Jones. Anyway, let me show you what it sounds like, people with tune. Let's have a bit of a play around, because I haven't really played it yet. I've got it in tune, kind of. Close enough for government work. It's got a rich tone. That's like even with dead strings. Even with dead strings, this thing sounds great. Dadgad sounds very nice. My eyes are hurting. Better. I don't know what to say, people. It's very, like I say, I think it'll benefit so much from new strings, like I say, and that will happen. And then I'll do a proper, I'll do a part 2 to this video with new strings on this guitar, and let you hear it kind of then, because I can imagine it'd be a lot more vibrant. We're going to snark it because I'm going to be lazy and I can't be. I don't want to waste your time. But yeah, this guitar's amazing. It's got a bone bridge as well. The bridge down here is bone. So that was an interesting thing. I thought it was just plastic when I first saw it, but it's actually bone. When it fell out, I was able to look at it and found out, yeah, it's actually bone, which is very cool. I don't know if the nut's bone. I mean, you would kind of think it would be if the bridge was, but let's not rush that conclusion. Because, I don't know, you know. No, it's definitely plastic. Yeah. Oh, we've got a bit of a... It looks like a serial number in there, but it's a bit smudged. I can't really see it very well. It's something with the last 2 numbers of 23, but... It's got a nice sound to it. Like I say, I reckon it'll sound a lot better with new strings on it. Because these strings are just dead. Especially the low ones, there's nothing really left in them. But again, a bit of a lighter gauge as well for me, please. I am struggling to play this a little bit with these big strings. I like it, I like it, I like it a lot. It's definitely worth it. So this is super cool. Like I say, it looks all original to me as well. I mean, I don't... There's been there was a strap button here when I got it, but I removed it because it gets in the way, and plus I don't like to stand up and play acoustic guitars. There's also been a strap button in the back there as well. The original one's there. It's gorgeous. The back of this guitar is a gorgeous kind of like reddy brown colour. It's absolutely stunning. Yeah, this guitar's amazing. Original machine heads. They're the cheap, kind of like cheapo ones, but they work, they do the job, they feel good. I'm not going to complain. Definitely not going to change them, there's no point. It does have that kind of Martin-y sound though. I always kind of associate the Martin acoustic sound with people like Martin Carthy. Like who used an acoustic. I'm pretty sure his is smaller to this. I don't know if it's a Dreadnought, but Martin Carthy's got that Martin acoustic sound and that 70s sound, and this is kind of it. You know, it's just, yeah, awesome. I'm very happy with the tune. Like I say, when I come back to this with part 2, I will mic the thing up as well. I'm just using the room mic for now. But next time you hear this guitar with new strings on it, I will put a mic closer to the guitar so you can kind of hear it a bit better. Yeah, these strings are a bit too dead. There's a lot of low end. It's not very even on the string thing. But you can hear the guitar wants to be even. You know what I mean? It's really, really cool. It's just, yeah, the strings are kind of killing its voice in a way. Okay, so, yeah, there you go, people too. This is a really, really cool thing. Like I say, it's early 1970. Like I say, the guy I bought this from could date it back to 74 from the guy who originally bought this. So I'm guessing that's the year of this thing was made, 1974. And it's, like I say, it's a mountain, a CF mountain It's a Japanese-made Martin copy. Like I say, there is rumours about that they did use real Martin parts. What those Martin parts might have been, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, it is a hell of a good replica. I can definitely see why this is classed as a lawsuit guitar, because it's a bit too close for comfort, to be honest with you. Like, I can see why Martin were like, I don't think so. Really awesome though, and I'm so happy. I finally went for it, because like I said, I saw this a while back and it disappeared off my feed, and I was a bit like, oh no, I've lost it. Now I had to kind of resign myself to the fact I kind of like hesitated too long, and then it came up again last night, and I'm like, I'm having that. So yeah. It plays like a dream, though. It really, I mean, even though like the strings are far too heavy for me, it's great, absolutely awesome. I love it to bits. The sirens, Martin are coming to get me. Anyway, I'm just getting carried away. So yeah, anyway, people tube. I said I do apologise for all my random storytelling as well. By the way, on the way to getting this, I lost my mind a bit. Anyway, shut up. You're not making any sense anymore. Anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this little vid, everybody, on this guitar. It's really cool. This cost me all of £100. That was it, and which is kind of like the right price for one of these things. And it's just glorious. I love it. It's so cool. And again, it's as close as I'm going to get to owning a Martin, because I can't afford a Martin, especially not an older one. One of the best Martins I ever played actually was exactly the same as this. It was it was a 74 as well, actually. It was a 74 Martin D28, I want to say, but I know that's wrong. It could have been anything. I think I demoed it. It's somewhere in the old hat videos, but it was exactly the same as this. It looked exactly the same. The neck feels, I would say the Martin was skinnier. The neck was a bit skinnier on the Martin. It wasn't a V either on the Martin. The Martin's neck wasn't a V. And also, it had been played that much, the back of the neck had gone satin. I don't know if someone had sanded it or something in its life, but the back of the neck on the Martin, it was like a satin finish, and it was really glorious. But that was an amazing acoustic. It sounded so gorgeous, and it was just really consistent and even across the board. Like when you play like a G chord or something, you can hear every string, but nothing's trying to like fight. The bass isn't trying to fight with the mids, and the mids aren't trying to fight with the high, and so on and so forth. I would be curious to know what pickup system was put in this at one point. And like I say, it's done the rounds. It was originally bought around this area by a guy in 74, and then it kind of changed hands a few times, and it went to Wales, and now it's back here. So it's really cool to know the history of it, I've got to say, and I'm quite happy to be one of its owners. And like I say, I don't really want to. This is one of those guitars where, you know, when you kind of get those feelings of like, you know, if I'm going to have this guitar for a long time, I certainly hope so. It feels great. I love the sound. It does. I mean, to me, it sounds like a Martin, but again, a Martin with heavy strings has this kind of like real strong mid-range, and that's kind of like there. I can kind of hear it when I pick. You can hear that kind of like even bright, kind of like mid-rangey, kind of trebly thing. But when you hit it really hard, the bass is too much because of the dead strings. But I hope the sound's come across okay-ish on the camera, people of the tube. Anyway, I'm going to let you go because I'm just waffling now. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, everybody. I will see you again soon for another one. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. Thank you very much indeed for watching. One more G chord for you. Devon Townsend's got nothing on me. Yeah, right. Anyway, moving along. See you later. Thank you.